Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Suited Shootist. And this week, I'm going to be talking about managing known contacts. So sit back, pour yourself a drink, and let's chat about this one a little bit. First off, I appreciate all the support so far. If you haven't already, if you can like and subscribe on YouTube, supremely helpful. I really appreciate that. But I'm not going to kind of go down that path. I want to jump into this. So if you've spent any time following my page, or if you spent any time with the ShivWorks group or a lot of their alumni, you've heard the idea of managing unknown contacts. Very high level, without going too deep into that. What that is being able to determine somebody's motivations. You have an unknown contact that is just skeeving you out for whatever reason, and that process is there to help you determine if they're going to be a problem or not. It's a good chunk of the curriculum. It's probably the most useful piece that you're going to pick up, so I definitely recommend that you go and check it out. But what we're talking about today is managing known contacts. And here's why that's important, is because somebody is known to you, ostensibly, at least on some level, that means that you are also known to them. And it's really important that you control how well you're known to them, because that can either be an asset or it can be a severe liability. Because if it's somebody who is intimately close to you, a family member, a spouse, a child, you spend enough time with them that you can have conversations about how to handle potentially dangerous situations without coming across as kind of crazy and paranoid. With people that you're casually social with, though, there's a very real possibility that they either know or suspect on some level your hobbies as it pertains to firearms, self-defense, and all that. And there are instances where that can bite you in the ass. And it's something that really needs to be factored in as part of our overall risk analysis. Using kind of a more extreme example, if you and a friend are going out fishing, for example, y'all stop off at a gas station to either get a case of beer or some snacks for the road or whatever, and you find yourself in the middle of a strong arm robbery. Is there the possibility that this friend is going to turn to you and go, "You have a gun, do something"? It's been known to happen. A similar circumstance actually happened to me once. Not quite that severe, but basically an idiot coworker of mine made a comment of why I didn't involve myself in a bar fight that we were witnessing. It's a stupid question. It answers itself, but the question popped up, and I could have easily found myself involved in a situation that I didn't need to be in. Another one that is even seemingly more innocent, but has, in my opinion, deeper and more severe underlying implications is this. There was a job that I had where they ran various different shifts, and the shift that I worked routinely got out after sunset. And there was a coworker of mine that would repeatedly request that I walk them out to their car. Seemingly innocent enough, chivalry and all that. But think about it. The implication is that I'm either serving as a scarecrow, okay, fine, no harm, no foul, or that in the event of an actual assault, I'm supposed to act as their proxy and protect them. That I have a problem with. I don't like being volunteered into the role of protector, especially for somebody that I'm loosely social with, but is not part of my inner circle. Now, I suspect that it had more to do with the fact that I'm a large, semi-muscular man than the fact that I recreationally get in fights with strangers on the weekends and practice shooting. I don't think they knew me that well. But the implication was still there of, well, I'm just going to have you fight this battle for me, figuratively or literally. And you'd be surprised how willing people are to inject you into problems that you otherwise have nothing to do with, simply because they either know or assume your capabilities. And that's why managing known contacts is so critical, because really it is imperative that it's another level of concealment, like what Varg Freeborn talks about in his book, where you're not only concealing your tools, but you're concealing your abilities and your intentions as well, because otherwise you're going to have people volunteering you to be a problem solver for things that aren't necessarily your problem. And since the fight that we win at the highest level is the one that we ain't in, having other people volunteer us for fights is a little problematic. The other part of it is if you are in either a social or a professional circle where this lifestyle of ours is frowned upon or flat out unacceptable, you can control what you say. You can't control what other people say. And if you get the wrong person making the wrong, seemingly innocent, flippant comment in the wrong company, that can jam you up. It can either cause you problems socially, it can definitely cause you problems professionally, especially if you're in a circumstance where you are in a non-permissive environment and if you have chosen to carry against a company policy, that can draw a whole higher level of scrutiny than you were under before. And that now makes your job more difficult. And the reason why I think this is imperative is because known contacts are exactly that. They're known to us. That means they're familiar. Familiarity tends to breed complacency. It makes us feel safe, and we tend to pay less attention to what we're saying and what we're doing because effectively a negative has been proven in our brain. Well, I've not encountered whatever negative outcome up to this point without having to pay special attention or adjust my behavior, so therefore it's not a problem. It's not a problem yet. So it's just something to think about. Take a minute, take stock of the people in your life, and arrange it almost kind of like a bullseye, those concentric rings. And that's really, in my opinion, how you should treat who knows what. The people that you are definitively willing to fight for and fight with arguably should know what you're capable of. Everybody else, not only should they not really suspect, but just understand that even if you talk about going to a shooting match competition on the weekend, or you're lamenting how hard it is to find ammunition these days, or something that is tangentially associated with our lifestyle, people can draw conclusions from that. And just because it's seemingly innocuous to you and me, it can raise some suspicions or some alarms with people outside of our world. And people outside of our world are a lot of who we have to deal with. So, like I said, this is just some food for thought. It's something I've run into a few times, and I haven't really seen it articulated specifically, so I figured I'd make a quick video on it. Let me know what you think. There are those people that just clam up and are purely business at the office, and they either are an antisocial asshole or they just fit the bare minimum, social conversation. But how do you strike that balance? What works for you? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. So I hope you found it useful. I hope everybody stays safe, and I will catch y'all next week. Cheers and take care.